Hello and welcome to One Place in Conversation podcast, issue number 20. I'm Saifur and I'm joined by my co-host today, Sam.
Thank you.
Hello, Sam.
Thank you for inviting me today.
Excellent. Welcome. So we're here today to shine the light on the stories, challenges and triumphs that often go unheard. Today's episode is a special one because it's about Learning Disability Week 2025.
This year's theme is about visibility and inclusion and empowerment. It is time to celebrate incredible contributions of people with learning disabilities to change misconceptions and to amplify voices that deserve to be heard every single day, not just this week.
Yep, whether you're someone with lived experience, a family member, a professional, or just curious to learn more, thank you for tuning in. Over the next few minutes, we'll be diving into the real stories, expert insights, and practical ways we can all help build a more inclusive world. So with that said, we are joined by two lovely guests, some familiar faces you'll recognize. I'm here with, on my right-hand side.
I'm Sean, One Place East project worker.
Welcome, Sean. And also...
I'm James.
Hello, James.
I'm a project worker in the gaming.
And gaming, well done. Oh, excellent. Nice. So, like I said, this week is Learning Disability Week. So we're going to talk about Learning Disability Week, what it means, how your experiences about, your experiences of growing up with a learning disability and how, you kind of overcome, your challenges, right? So, first of all, did you know there are 1.5 million people in the UK with a learning disability sorry. Did you know that?
No.
That's quite a lot, right?
Yeah, that is quite a lot.
Yeah, very
definitely.
You can read the latest research and stats on a range of issues affecting people with a learning disability from the Health and Social Care website to find out how finding out the work and friendships that all about that. So got a series of questions. So first question, I want to ask you both. And Sam, to chip in whenever you want.
I will do, don't worry.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit about yourself and your journey with a learning disability?
Well, it was around the age of 11 when I first got my learning disability diagnosis. And it was done up in Liverpool. And then I moved down to London with Mum and went to Hatton as a primary school. And secondary school was Beale High School with a learning disability unit attached to it for people with learning disabilities.
Yeah.
With the teachers back then, how did you cope with the lessons?
Maths was the weak point.
Okay.
That I found the hardest. And writing was in English, like just writing on a pen and paper was a challenge. I was more able to do it with a tablet than on a piece of paper, pen or paper.
And how did the children react to you?
Well, because the students in my group had learning disabilities themselves.
Right, okay.
It's because we were a whole group of students with learning disabilities in this same class. So obviously we all had different challenges and different life journeys, but because we all had different conditions and disabilities, so.
James.
Oh yeah. I only found that when I was in year 6 last year in junior school that I had speech impediment, but before that I didn't know nothing about it until I got diagnosed, and I went to a special needs secondary school. And I had all different aspects of people with learning difficulties, and the most challenging is PE because they had apparatus which one was scared of heights.
Okay.
Yeah, and obvious. And I used to sit out most of the time anyway because most of the apparatus were high.
Yeah. So before you went to special needs school, were you in another school before that, or?
Yeah, I was just only in primary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was the change over for you?
It was a big difference.
So
Yeah.
did you feel you benefited more from being in the special needs school?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Because I had a lot of help as well, and obviously the teachers were trained.
Yeah.
To be in that environment.
Yeah. And you felt a bit more comfortable. With
yes, certainly did. Yeah.
Surroundings.
Yeah.
And, you know. Yeah.
Do you find it now? Do you find it better? Do you think because years ago we didn't talk about disabilities? Do you think it's changed more, or do you think we've got to do more?
Well, we've got to do more to get people to understand more about the hidden side of it than the side that you can see. So, but it is challenging at times to get people to understand people with learning disabilities, how they're, because compared to a normal person, an autistic person functions differently, and they have different ways of coping with challenges in life, like be it through school, through work. They find their own coping mechanisms that suits the individual. So James would have his own coping mechanism, Sam would have one, I have one, and Saifur would have his own one.
Yeah. Okay.
See that today's society. I think it's good that you teach kids when they're small, so they understand more. And what they do now, I think is very good. They have dolls, and when I say dolls, they have that Barbies. And I've seen it, I've heard of it, and I've seen it on the TV. And they've got, one of them might have a hearing aid, one might have a stick because he's blind or he's blind, one's got with their skin. And I think it's good to show them just because they've got a disability, they're no different. I think it's good to make it when they're very young to explain it, especially in books as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what in your opinion, what are some of the common misconceptions people have about learning disabilities? What do you reckon?
I reckon that they get the wrong end of the stick.
Who gets the wrong stick?
People in society.
People, okay.
Because they mostly think that the person they're talking to has got a disability. And what I find is that the person who has a disability, they should say to the person, I've got a disability. And what they should do is talk to them in a way that the person understands. and that's what I think
Mhm.
if people in society should do. Is take time talking to them so they understand.
Do you when you go out and about with someone that hasn't got a disability, right? For example, if you go to shops or if you go to somewhere, do you ever find people talking not to you because they see that you've got a disability? So do you find that they're talking to someone with you rather than talking to you?
They talk to me
They
sometimes.
do, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I know some people anyway, and they talk to me instead of the other person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That they speak to us rather than like James said, people that we know.
Yeah.
So, i.e., for example, work colleagues. Since I've been where I work in Tesco's, they've been mostly supportive, and they've helped with various aspects of the job that I couldn't
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
As I said to you about before, with the difficulties with the maths and stuff like that.
I I remember growing up and going out with people, friends, family, right? Going to the shops and stuff like that. The shopkeeper wouldn't talk to me, even if they were, I was buying something. They would ask the person with me, "Is that what he wants?" Because the misconception they had is that because I'm a disabled
Because
person,
you're in a wheelchair,
I can't,
Yeah.
You
answer for myself.
You can't speak for yourself, basically, is what they thought.
And with the theme for learning disability being, "Do you see me?" Right? Yeah. That the idea is that yes, I'm disabled, but do you actually see me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's changed a little bit, but like I said, I just think we need to do more. And, like in schools or, in workplaces, that has to change as well because we have to do it's the law now.
Yeah.
I've done a bit.
So, what do you wish, or do you wish people understood more about learning disabilities?
Well, like Sam said, it would be better for people to understand learning disabilities more if we start, if they start it from primary school upwards, educating not just students or pupils, it's got to be teachers as well, because there's some teachers out there that don't understand LD students with learning disability students, because they haven't had the correct training to work with them type of people. With people with either a physical disability or a hidden disability.
Yeah.
And because we live in a neurodiversity thing now, world now, it does seem to be a bit
what do you think?
understood, but not completely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I reckon that they should teach kids about learning difficulties from the age of year 5 up to secondary school.
Mm-hmm. Well, teach them about disabilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or what it's like in them coming out into the real world and approaching someone with actually learning difficulties. And which I agree with Sean is a diversity world. And actually think that the local authorities should do more for people who've actually learned difficulties. And go around secondary schools and actually take someone who's got learning difficulties, show them what it's really like, go day by day, and they how do they live with it?
Yeah, how do they live on a daily basis with their disability, stuff like that? Because you being a prime example, Saifur, so. Because it's
Well, it's all of us, isn't it? It's all
Yeah.
of us. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, or a month ago, I was on a platform to Stratford, and there was a speakerphone, and they said about disabilities. Now that's probably to do with us because we're working with TFL, and they said people with disabilities. It's not always shown. Sometimes we're sitting. Can you please get for someone who needs it more? And I was got
Get what? Sorry.
get up for people
Yeah.
on the seats. Maybe it might be a seat on a bench, or maybe when you get on a train,
Or a
you get up
bus.
for someone on a bus. But can you get out for someone who maybe needs it more than you do? And I'm thinking, oh, they're listening. So we're getting there, but it's learning.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's at the end of the day, that's all it comes. It comes down to a lot of learning.
Yeah.
And stuff. But like Sam's saying, with some people would just they don't see it that someone might need that seat more than
Exactly.
because there might be physically able-bodied person, and then we'd have someone that's not so able-bodied that would need that seat.
Yeah. All right, so let's excuse me. Moving on to education and work. How has your learning disability impacted your experiences at school or at work? Or do you think that it has impacted?
Well, it hasn't really impacted in my work. Just obviously, employers can understand. Some employers don't understand
Mhm.
people with disabilities, and there's some employers out there that won't even employ people
Yeah.
with a learning disability.
Yeah.
But employers like Sainsbury's and Tesco's, just for example,
Yeah.
they're quite good with that. They will take someone on with a learning disability, and then they'll say, "Is there any adjustments you need
Mhm.
that we can help you with to help you do your job better?" And we're like, "Oh, you could do this, and this."
Yeah.
That could be like XYZ, for example. Just that could be anything that individual would need to do that job.
Yeah.
Can I just say, because I do say on Mondays, I do therapeutic work. And where I do therapeutic work, they had to adjust it. Okay, I used to work in Montford, but now I work in Hornchurch. Now, I do a few hours. But in other places, they have to take people on. And it's like anything, like actors, all that sort of thing, who with a disability, they have to take them on because if they don't, they can sue them. So any companies in London, anywhere, they have to take them on, And also if you go to a restaurant or something, you have to make changes there. Because if you don't, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's my cycle.
Yeah. Well, come on. So, staying on education, have you had any teachers, mentors, or employers who have made a big difference to you? And what did they do to help you?
So teachers or mentors, we had one teacher when we were in sixth form in the learning disability department, and he had a very broad understanding of students with learning disabilities as individuals, not as a group. and he would look at their difficulty areas within the group. So some of them, like I said, some might have trouble with writing, some would have trouble with reading, but he would do it in a way that suited all the students in his group, his individual needs, rather than doing it as it's been like a one-to-one basis with that student during lesson time and say, okay, what can we do differently? Why is this not working for you? And why do you think that's not working for you? And then he would mentor into other things as well. Like he would say, oh, when you go to college, try and find the same support that you had here, if you can, if possible. And then that will lead you on to bigger and better things later on in life.
Did that help you?
Yes. Definitely so.
Terms.
Oh yeah, what inspired me more is the cookery teacher who I had, very fantastic. She taught the class how to cook from scratch. And the other teachers, it's the IT teacher. He don't know how to log on the computer, log off, create a Word document, how to save work, save as, create a new folder. And the other thing what benefited me was PE, because we've done different activities. And lunchtime I used to get involved with the school football team, which benefited me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has made a big difference to your...
It's a lot of difference, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Did you want to ask a question, sir?
Here?
Yeah, whichever way.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge you have faced, and how did you overcome it?
Oh, overcome it. It was by coming here, do a lot of courses, complete Andy's course, and I done interviews with Margaret and Andy. I got the interview the same day, and I got told I got the job from Margaret and from Andy.
Yeah, that's very good. How was that challenge for you, Cal? That was your biggest challenge, you said?
Yeah, because she thought I was not going to get the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Very good. Yeah. What's been your biggest challenge?
Well, my biggest challenge would have been when I was, I suppose when I was looking for a job after I left college. And that was because I was looking for somewhere I could work with. Some of the jobs I was applying for were the skill set wasn't quite there. So then I had to rethink my strategy. And then when I applied for the job at Tesco's, they gave me it as a temporary worker for Christmas. Then in January they said, oh, we've not got no permanent vacancies at the moment, so we'll let you go for about a week. So I went looking for another job in Whipps Cross Hospital, in the shop there. I went to that interview, and they said, I've done all the interview. They said, oh, get back to you and let you know. Never got it. So ironically, that day, the manager from Tesco's rang and said, oh, I've got a permanent vacancy for you now here, if you'd like to come and work for us. And I've been there for about 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
So,
Wow.
Fantastic.
yeah, it's quite ironic the way it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
From going from nothing to doing that. So.
What about you, Sam? What's been your biggest
What's
challenge?
your biggest challenge?
What was wow, what can I say?
How have you
I'm like a furniture here. I'm like the furniture. I've been here for a long time, and without this charity, I keep saying this, but without the charity, I won't be who I am now. I used to be very shy. And
No, you don't.
You don't want to
I was
pressure
very. You can ask a few people here. I was very, very shy, and because of my disability, it takes time to understand things, jargon words, but I wouldn't say boo to a goose, if that's the phrase. But they've helped me, encouraged me to, if you don't understand, speak up. And I remember the first time I came here, I'm not here, in another place, I need to call Carol, if I can say the name, yeah, I have, done things. She said, we're not going to stop until we do it. And I said, no, we're going to keep doing it. And that's, the charities helped me, not to be fair to speak up, not to say, oh, what does that mean? Because if you don't ask questions, you're not going to learn. And I'm going to say, you learn every day. You do not stop learning.
No, you never stop learning. Life is one big learning curve, no matter what the challenge is, no matter what the situation is. You learn, like Sam says, you're learning something new every day.
You do.
Yeah.
And
Well,
as well, sorry to interrupt, Mr. Saifur. But you learn in different ways.
You do.
You learn in different ways.
And you're always learning, like you say.
Yeah.
Right. So, on the learning front, or not on the learning front, what's been your proudest moment?
Proudest moment, well, I would say probably the proudest moment was when I first got my job in Tesco's, then learning to do the first aid at St John's.
Oh, wow.
Ambulance, because that was something before my college teacher kind of guided me to go into that, because we've done a public service course, and he said, oh, I think it's a charity, but it will benefit you to learn this and give you another skill. So I said to him, okay, how do I go about setting it up? How do I get into it? And he said, well, you should go apply for it on a voluntary basis. And then I did that. They rang and said, oh, come over to Enfield, sign all the forms. One more base, where do you live? I said in Ilford. So then they based me at Ilford. And if it hadn't been for my college teacher, I would never would have got that first aid voluntary position. So it was his influence that guided me to do that. So I'd say that's probably one of the biggest achievements.
Excellent. What is your
My best experiential thing is working here.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's been a very proudest moment.
Yeah, ever.
Excellent. What about you then, Sam?
Oh, God. Is it me
Yeah.
Is it you again, Sam?
Everyone has a proudest moment. Maybe.
I learned how to cook a bit more.
Yeah.
Was glad. I've learned how to travel a bit more.
Yeah.
On my own.
Good.
I think just be me.
Yeah.
Just be me. Go dancing on my own. Just be me.
I think that would be my proudest moment as well, when I travelled on my own last year.
Where'd you go?
When I went to Brazil, I went around. I was all on my own. So
You went on your own?
yeah. I mean, I initially went with a friend, but then she went and did her own thing. So I went flying somewhere else, in Brazil. So I went all around all on my own.
Good luck to you.
So yeah, that was
Good luck to
quite a
you.
good moment. Right. Coming on to, let's say, talk about support or advocacy. What support or accommodations have helped you the most, James?
My support and advocacy is what benefited me the most is my price Oyster card.
Okay.
Yeah, which benefit me more because if it wasn't for that, I'd be paying a lot amount of fares.
You mean Freedom Pass? You mean Freedom Pass or Oyster card?
Our price Oyster card.
Sorry?
Our price Oyster card.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before it was £1.75.
Yeah.
It was £1.85, but now I pay 85p
For travel.
Yeah.
But do you not get a Freedom Pass?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, that's what supported me. Me the most. Yeah.
Nice. That's good. What about you, Sean?
Me, for the support would have, for me, the support and advocacy would be obviously through my schooling and through my college teacher, and obviously coming here as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So how can friends, family, or the wider community be more supportive to you? How can friends, family, or
it's by giving me the confidence and the lead to do more things, more
More for yourself.
more for myself in a supportive way.
So if you were, for example, out and about on your own, right? How would you want or expect the community to react to you and support you?
If I got lost, I'll obviously ask someone local. Where's this? Where's that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to memorize it. Or you go down this road, go to that road. So I have to remember it.
Yeah.
Or if there was a bus local, I'll get on the bus and ask the bus driver, where's this road? And he or she will tell me if it's the next stop or is it the 2 more stops after.
Yeah.
Can I just say, there is a card you can get, because I've been to some meetings, and if there's a card you can keep to say, I am lost. And you go to someone who may be on a platform, because they wear certain uniforms, and you go up to them and say, can you help me? I'm lost. And you can say, I've got a disability, and say, well, it's happened to me. It's happened to me. I got lost somewhere. And just say, I have a disability. Can you help me?
Yeah.
Can you guide me, or can you show me, or can you come with me, or can someone else help me to get somewhere? And I'm sure you'll show me myself.
Did you say there was a card?
Yeah, there's a card to get around. So there's a certain card to show, to say, can you help me out? Or so it like that. So if you travel places, if you go somewhere on, there's a lot of people who work at on a train with like guards or somewhere. If you ask them, oh, can someone help me? And they'll help you.
Is it like the lanyard date?
You can use the lanyard, but the something else is about for travelling. So you use a special card, and I think you could ask someone here, that Carol or Margaret. Yeah. It's a card saying, can you help me out? And they should be able to help you out. Yeah.
Interesting. Who are you, Sean?
Well, yeah.
How can the community, friends or family be more supportive towards you?
Well, the family are very supportive anyway. Mainly mum, and obviously dad, as well, and grandma. So my family are quite supportive of what I do. So on most aspects.
Okay, so what changes would you like to see in society to make things more accessible and inclusive?
Well, obviously, at the moment, not every station is accessible for people that are visually impaired or people like yourself that are in wheelchairs. It's
Wheelchair.
not very accessible
Yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Because not every station has a lift.
No. Or it's broken.
Or it's broken or it don't work.
Mhm.
So that's one change they could make. And I think Sam would agree with.
Yeah, I think, I'd agree with that. I mean, situation only recently, a friend of mine was is in a wheelchair, electric chair, and she happened to get on the wrong train, going the wrong way.
Yeah.
And she had no means of getting off the train
No.
to go back the other way.
Yeah.
Right. Because after a certain point she was traveling on the Elizabeth line, and she had gone past Whitechapel.
Yeah.
Coming towards Ilford, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shenfield. So she got off. She got on wherever she got on, but she got on going the wrong way. So she rings me up saying, "Saifur, I'm stuck on the train. I can't get off." I'm like, "Where do you want to get off?" And she said, telling me where she wants to get off. I'm like, "Oh, right." So if for anyone able-bodied person, they could just get off the train, at the next stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Not for someone's wheelchair.
Because she was in a wheelchair, but not only in a wheelchair, she was in an electric chair, right? She couldn't even ask, passengers to help her off because she's in a big, heavy electric wheelchair. So yeah, she just had to stay on that train, go to the end of the line, and then come back on herself, So God knows what time she got home.
Yes,
But,
time she got home.
I think stuff, when situations like that happen, and I'm sure that happens all the time.
Can I ask Saifur? So nobody on the train helped her at all? Like phone
Well, they
someone?
can't because she's in an electric chair.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, in that situation,
Yeah.
I would have thought somebody would have helped her out.
No, I mean,
with their phones or do something, or they should have, and then no, they don't have it. Have like a button on a train. They don't
Yes,
have it,
exactly.
but have a
They
button
don't-
to say
yeah.
that if you're stuck somewhere, press a button,
Yes.
and
yes.
somebody should on the other side or whatever,
Yeah.
pick it up.
Yeah.
I'd have
Because
to do
that's what I
that.
said. I did say to her, press the emergency button.
Right.
But the thing is, the emergency button isn't even accessible.
It's
up
not
there.
accessible.
Yeah, it's not even accessible. Yeah. So
No,
she couldn't even. I mean, she could have just asked somebody to get off the train and whatever. But when the train stops at a station, it doesn't stop for too long. So
No, it
Yeah.
quickly closes up,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
she just stayed on and then came back on herself. But excuse me. Yeah, so situations like that, I think needs changing.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, James?
What I reckon is that the transport system should be so much better, especially with wheelchair access and with the ramps and everything.
Yeah, the ramps and stuff.
Yeah. The ramps and also the train should be so much better as well. I think before someone actually unable to get on a train, I reckon that they should have the ramp ready for them to get on a train beforehand, instead of that person ring up, oh tomorrow I'm going somewhere, so is it possible you could ask one of your colleagues to put a ramp down? And I reckon that they should do it automatically. So that person ringing up the next day saying that I want to go to this place, that place, it should be automatically done.
Yeah.
And with the ramps as well, I think today's technology, I reckon the ramp should be working should be always working and not always getting stuck.
Oh, you're talking about yeah. I mean, yeah. You mean ramps on buses?
Yeah, on buses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ramps on the buses. Yeah.
And instead of the bus are restarting, or is to terminate the bus because the ramp ain't working. I think they should do all bus services around London area to make sure when they come to the depot, always work. If they don't work, they do not use the bus.
They shouldn't be let out if there's
Or test it out.
yeah.
Or test it.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole new discussion. I think we could have another podcast all about transport.
Probably have another one later about that.
All right. Thank.
I think this is.
So we're coming almost to the end, right? We've got some a couple of more.
A fun question.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Fun and personal. When I say personal, your interest, no. What are your favourite hobbies or interests do you have?
Go on.
Oh, you must have something.
Go on, James. I know you're right.
Go on, you said.
Okay.
Well, my favourite obviously is the Xbox at home, the PlayStation here.
Yeah.
And also I've got a Switch at home.
Yeah.
And but my favourite hobby was watching Liverpool actually win the Premier League.
Woohoo! You're not a Liverpool fan?
Yeah.
Are you a Liverpool fan? Oh, high five.
And also my hobbies are going out with my fiance. Always going different restaurants, going different shops, look around and obviously see what she wants to buy and everything. And the question I want to say is all disabilities are all not impaired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, they're not. Yeah. So what's your
My
favorite
hobbies
hobbies?
And interests.
Mm.
Well, hobbies generally are football.
Okay.
Who's
your team? Who's your team?
Everton.
Everton.
Yeah.
Everton. I was just going to say you were wearing Everton Castle.
Yeah. And Everton Castle.
Yeah.
Everton for the football team, and obviously traveling to different places is another. Well, I'd say that's more an interest than a hobby.
Yeah.
The hobby would be football, but the interest to traveling to different places.
Yeah.
I'd class that as more of my interest than.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sam, what's yours? Go
on. Listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
And dancing.
Dancing, that's right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You're a good Zumba dancer, right?
I've got Zumba dance, so yeah.
Yeah, sure. Teachers of
Should I
Zumba.
my dance? So.
Excellent. Right, so.
Saifur.
Yes.
We haven't asked you. What do you like for your hobbies?
Yeah, no, I haven't asked Saifur, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm a bit like you though, Sean. I think I like traveling, right? So I guess that's more of an interest, right? And I'm a avid Liverpool supporter, so I travel up and down the country to watch my team, right? So, I was there last week when we kind of drew against West Arsenal. I'll be going up this weekend to see the final game and then going to the parade on the Monday. So,
Of course, it's parade on Monday.
Eh?
Parade on Monday, yeah.
Yes. So, got a busy weekend ahead. So that's my interests and hobbies. All right, and then final one maybe is what's something people might be surprised to learn about you? That's a good one.
That is a good one. That's
Go on then. Go on then,
Should
Sam.
I
Go on.
do one?
Hey?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
Sam.
yeah. Go on then. What would somebody be? Yeah, go on.
I taught myself right-handed.
You
I
what?
used to be what? Not right. I used to be left-handed.
Okay.
Taught myself right-handed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, I went to school where I used to live. I was looking around, all these little kids, and so I was doing. Which way? It's my left hand. So I'm doing this.
Are you left-handed originally?
I used to be
You are
left-handed,
left-handed. Okay.
and then what are they doing? Let's have a go. I was bored at school. And then all of a sudden, I did this. So I went to school left-handed, and because where the school is, my house was only a few minutes. So I went on this, come home right-handed. So I took myself right-handed.
Interesting.
But I can still do things with my left hand. But I can't. But if I put my shoe on, it has to be left foot first. I can't do right first because my brain thinks I'm
That's
left-handed.
superstition. It's all about superstitions.
I know it's superstitious, but my brain thinks I'm left-handed. So I put my left hand,
Oh, I
my
see,
left
okay.
shoe first.
Okay. Interesting. Come on, James. So what's something that people might find surprising about you?
Me, it's learning how to use the air fryer.
Oh.
So you know how to use
Yeah.
that now.
Yes, I recently, I learned how to do it last year. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
So people are surprised that you know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Beforehand, I wouldn't know how to do it.
All right.
Is it an easy one?
Easy one. All you do is look at the packet at the back,
Yeah.
and it tells you, say you want to cook chicken.
Yeah.
So you look at the back,
Yeah.
and it tells you how many minutes, and you put on in how many Celsius, and it cook for you. And there's no grease or nothing, no fat or nothing. It all absorbs the grease and fat out there.
I'm no cook.
No, nor am I. Nor am I.
What are you then,
I've learned to
John?
cook a bit more. I have learned.
What's something that people might find surprised to learn about you?
Well, probably because before I went to United Friends, it was DJ.
DJ?
Yeah.
Oh,
So DJing was the new thing that I suppose they learned. Because I've done a little bit over at United Friends.
Yeah.
Because they ran a workshop over there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we obviously go with Margaret on a Thursday. So
Yeah.
Link place.
Nice.
Carry
You
on.
rock the mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rock the mic, yeah.
You rock the mic. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, Sham.
Thank you.
Sam, not Sham. Sam. And thank you for watching and listening to our podcast. See you next time.
Oh, can I say to people who listen to this, please listen, and you might get educated. Thank you very much.
Everybody dance,